On this Labor Day, people in Kettleland, as well as the rest of the country, are celebrating the value of work and the achievements of labor. As Kettleland's Al Van Zee reports, it's also a time to savor the last days of summer at area lakes and parks.
On the lakes today, you couldn't do better than a boat, a fishing line, and a cooler. Hundreds of people were taking in the last summer holiday with friends and family. It was also one of the last big vacation days in the tourist towns of South Dakota. Labor Day has come to mean all those things, but it also has a deeper meaning. It was a South Dakota Senator, James Kyle from Aberdeen, who introduced a bill in the United States Senate in 1893 making Labor Day a national holiday. Labor Day has a history that's more than 120 years old, and it has its roots in a time that in many ways was very similar to our own. The late 1800s were a time of wealth concentrated in the hands of a very few. It was a difficult time for people who worked for wages. Economies experienced extreme boom and bust cycles, and poverty was rampant.
And so the labor man finally said, you know, this is enough, and they began to organize, and unions came into being, and as a result of that, we recognize this day as a special day for working men and women.
The labor movement these days is once again growing. Organizers say attendance at this Labor Day picnic in Rapid City was almost twice what it was 5 years ago. It's partly because of the difficulties in making a living for many Americans these days, and also because today's labor movement is making extra efforts to recruit a broader range of people, including minorities and women.
Women are 51% of the workforce these days, and they play a critical part in the dynamics of the workforce.
The new resurgence of labor will be good for the economy, according to those who advocate for it. A decent wage in the hands of millions of workers will create demand that's been missing.
They'll spend the money, the extra money that they're earning. It's good for the economy. The economy flourishes then too. So that's why we're celebrating this day. We're celebrating a day for all those hard-working young Americans and old Americans like me, all of us that are making a difference here in the United States.
So on this day, South Dakotans are once again taking time to relax in celebration of the value of work. In the Black Hills, Al Van Zee, Kettleland News.
U.S. Senator Kyle was not just an advocate for labor, he was also an early critic of trusts and monopolies and an early supporter of the right to vote for women.